My approach to banking is very relationship-based. They can text me, they can call me. I have answered calls when I'm home cooking dinner. It's important for them because when it comes to businesses, they don't have the time to be waiting on a 30-minute hold to resolve an issue.
Tara, it's great to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to get to talk to you today and, kind of what your story looks like.
Been in banking 20 plus years.
Okay.
So moved here to Northwest Arkansas 10 years ago. So I was in Pennsylvania, graduated from college, started in banking right out of college. So I was in a business management and marketing. So that's what I have my degree in, but never had done any of that and just stayed with banking. So graduating, I've been from teller. I have worked multiple different positions within the bank, starting as a part-time teller, then full-time being an operations supervisor, managing the branch audits. Have done pretty much everything from auditing different branches, kind of overseeing that process. After that, I did consumer lending. I was a financial service representative, so new account openings. So anything you can think of in the bank, I have done it, other than commercial lending.
You're not missing anything.
I hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So that is the one area I have not explored, and I'm not planning on. Yeah. So I had a great opportunity when I came to Northwest Arkansas to kind of learn about treasury management at my previous bank I worked for.
So you are in treasury management currently, right?
Yes.
And so can you just kind of tell us what your position is now?
Mm-hmm. I am the Treasury Management Specialist, so I managed our Treasury department here at Generations Bank. I pretty much sales, going on business calls with lenders and anybody that wants to go visit a business customer. So I directly work with the businesses here at the bank. And then I also oversee the department, like the audit side of it, different projects, any improvements we need with our digital banking platform, problem solving if customers are having issues with any of the online banking side of things, kind of manage that side of it.
Well, thank you for your service. We all need to embrace the digital, aspects of banking. That's for sure. So you are a huge help to our team. And we're grateful to have you and partner with you to help our customers ultimately. Yes. So you help all of the customers in the bank with treasury management.
Pretty much on the business side of it, I am over all 11 branches, all the customers, and then I do have a co-work team member that's in South Arkansas that helps me.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yes. Yes.
That's a couple customers, yes. I'd say. So, well, what services, I know when I first heard the words treasury management coming from a non-banking background, I was a little confused by what all fell under that umbrella. So what kind of, and one of the things Max and I have talked about is people our age or people who just kind of use a bank to keep their money in a checking account or whatever it might be, don't really understand all the ways that a bank can serve businesses or, entities in the community. So what are some of the services that treasury management offers that ultimately helps our business customers, sleep at night? Or how do you help them?
Let me kind of briefly share. Treasury management's been around forever in the banks. So people call it cash management, is known as cash. But it became important when COVID, everything was shut down. So treasury management services, products were brought to light in banking for businesses. So that's when the treasury management became so important for businesses to kind of get into to manage their daily cash flow, see liquidity, financial risks that they needed to manage. So that's when kind of was Treasury Management was part of the business. They're designed, kind of Treasury Management services are designed to improve operational efficiencies in the business, just do overall financial health of the business. So that's what kind of Treasury Management does.
So if you were to break this down and simplify it as much as possible to somebody who's never heard of Treasury Management at all, cash management, Treasury Management, what offers and services you can provide to a business customer. How would you best simplify that?
So with cash management, it kind of helps them, okay, how are they utilizing the payables and receivable of their day-to-day business? It's more of how they handle their daily cash, how they're operating. So we have services available that can help them. So you want to go ahead, let's think about payables. How are they sending payments? You want to have a more control of who you're paying with our cash management solutions, ACHs, being able to transmit payments electronically to your vendors, paying direct deposit to your employees. And also with the remote capture, with the receivable side of it, is that how are you receiving your payments, income coming in? If your business that still receives checks in the mail, like we have a service that can help them where they don't have to go to the bank to deposit that check. We will provide that. It's called a remote deposit capture, where the employees of the business don't have to go to the bank to make a deposit. They can scan those checks and they can be available in their account the same business day.
So a lot of what you're doing is creating operational efficiencies for these businesses.
Correct.
Right. And so obviously that would be very attractive for many business owners, specifically smaller business owners who don't have a large or robust team that they can rely on.
Correct.
Or maybe even an in-house CFO.
Yes.
Or an in-house accountant or any of that kind of stuff. And so banks and Generations Bank have provided an opportunity to kind of step in and help through that process.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what kind of customer would you say that this type of service would directly apply to?
I mean, really, it can apply to any business. It can apply to corporations, small to mid-sized businesses. Like you mentioned that they don't have a designated team that manages their treasury management. They would have to rely on outside third parties to manage that for them. And where a lot of the businesses don't know, banks do provide that service. So this is why we have to really talk about treasury management to help them, assist them with that, where they don't have to go to a third party vendors to get these services.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the awareness that banks can help in this way is diminished because there are other services out there like third parties that might be a little less personal, a little more marketing dollars on commercials or whatever it might be? Correct. What do you think that's what attributes to that?
It definitely does. I mean, honestly, with a lot of our bank to be aware we have these services, our team members need to be aware and mentioning these services to your business customers. It is very important. If we don't mention it, like those third-party companies going to be there knocking on their door.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the things I did before I got into banking was merchant services, which is another
correct.
Yeah, avenue that Treasury Management helps with. To break that down, if you don't know what merchant services is, if you are a restaurant, if you are taking any kind of credit card payment, you have your credit card terminal. And so that's what I was doing. I didn't love it. I'll be honest. It was a little tough for old Lukey.
So you were trying to sell through COVID, right? When you definitely couldn't.
Door to door.
Yeah, door to door through COVID.
22 years old. Yeah. No idea.
No clear instructions, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
No clear instructions. But it was tough. But, whether it was that or now as a banker with our own treasury management services, like merchant services, one of the things that really got at me was there are a bunch of big competitors out there who do, third-party services like Square or some of these other larger ones. And they can be very frustrating because you go to, if you need help, you're either chatting with an AI bot online or whatever it might be. And so I think that's some of the real value that you bring and you and your team is all these services. Do you give out your cell phone number? Maybe not, but you've got everybody has Tara's
cell phone
office number or cell number. I'm not going to put it out there, but
honestly, Luke, my approach to banking when it comes to banking is very relationship based. I want to get to know my customers. I want to take care of them, and I do take pride in what I do. So I want to make sure customers are taken care of. Because when it comes to businesses, they don't have the time to be waiting on a 30-minute hold to resolve an issue. So this is where it sets Community Bank as Generations Bank sets apart is we're available for our customers. I give out my cell phone number. They can text me. They can call me. I have answered calls when I'm home cooking dinner. Because it's important for them, because that they have a business, they might have a time available at a certain time of the day when they're trying to submit an ACH file.
Yeah.
So they have people that they want to pay, so we will help them any possible way we can.
Obviously, this is all encompassing and very comprehensive for a community bank to be able to provide a holistic suite of services. And treasury management is a big key to that cog, right? Yeah. That's if you've got the hub and spoke type, concept there, that's a large one of the spokes that kind of comes out. So, so Tara, you've been with Generations Bank now
2.5
years. I was going to say 3. All right. It just feels like forever though, doesn't it?
When did you
especially when you're having fun?
2021, June.
Okay, I was October.
You started right after me.
That's right.
So, how have you seen? You mentioned COVID as a major catalyst for an increased desire for treasury management, cash management services. How have you seen it continue to develop over the 2.5 years you've been at Generations Bank?
I have to say, when I started at Generations Bank, it was really the beginning of this treasury management process. So coming here, I have to say one thing I have to give it to Generation. They are very open to an idea. Like if you had some kind of product that you wanted to bring on, you wanted to share your idea, it's really, they listened, they took care of it. They're like, okay, this is important. We got to do this for our customers. I have to say we have the best treasury management services that available here that a full large bank would have available. And we also, because we partner with third-party vendors to provide some of the solutions that for a business would need, that has come a long way also.
Yeah, and you're referring to some of those things that even Luke mentioned, like Square, QuickBooks, some of that kind of stuff you can integrate with fairly seamlessly.
Yes.
Right.
So we have partnered with like BankCard, that is our merchant services, and we do FinSync, it's our bookkeeping software that we partnered with, which does your payroll, your taxes, your expense management. We have partnered with FinSync to provide that to our businesses.
Great.
So the world has revolved around the movement of money for eons. Is that a little dramatic?
I think it's fantastic. I'm kind of scared to see where you're going next.
Your job is to help with the movement of money and to make that easier for our customers.
Yes.
We'll go small. We'll go over the next 5 to 10 years. How do you see the movement of money changing? That's a curveball.
Yeah. I mean,
Can it?
I would say yes.
I guess right now, what's the most efficient way to move money? An ACH?
Yes, and same day instant payments already in place, meaning it's gonna we're not never gonna see money. It's all gonna be a digital currency. It's gonna become that. We will need the technologies. Definitely, it's gonna be. I mean, I've been in banking very long time, so I have seen it where paper checks had gone away, like slowly. I mean, there's still parts of the business people still use paper checks.
Yeah.
Then there's comes fraud side of things. Like we're gonna have to really look at the what do we have in place to mitigate the risk of fraud, because even in the digital world, when there's so much fraud happens on daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a really good point, and what better place to you mentioned, I guess I'm going back to you mentioned some of these larger third party operators, cash management operators that may be difficult to get a hold of, or just the fact is they're not federally regulated. That can be a cumbersome and scary process if fraud is introduced. And so I would assume there's a safety net to a degree with a bank to be able to have a quicker conversation and try to attack that fraud at the same time. And we offer some products, right, that are able to kind of combat that.
Yes, with our Treasury Management Services, we do have fraud prevention products and services available for business to add on to, which can help them with financial fraud, cyber threats, anything to monitor fraud, any transactions that are coming into their account. We do offer those services. I wish every business customer should consider that. It is like having an insurance because for example, we had a customer who had lost quite a bit of money and not knowing, like it happened internally in their business. So if they had that fraud prevention, fraud detection service added to their digital banking, they could have caught that prior to them losing all that money. So it's always at the back end. They think about it after the fraud happens. And I think it's very important for businesses to look into that, where they can monitor what payments are coming out of their account, and they have a more control of their money. So instead of you having lost all that money and then having to close the account, reopening account, you have all these direct debits coming out of it, direct payments, you have your payroll set up. That can create a nightmare for a business.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I look at it. And as a treasury management, those are the kind of conversations I'm having with our business customers, informing them of these product and services we have.
That almost reminds me of like a car warranty.
Nobody wants it till they
nobody
need it.
ever wants it until you need it.
Yep.
So it's interesting. So I do kind of want to flip it on its head here, and talk about the piece of the treasury management services that are very attractive to certain types of customers. I would assume like a nonprofit organization a lot of times don't have resources or the ability to to have help in those avenues and areas. What kind of comments can you make as far as that's concerned?
I mean, those are one of the businesses, nonprofit organizations that we do work with. It helps them managing that money. And also, I mean, the monies that's sitting there, they can, we manage with the putting them in interest earning, like they don't have a need for it at the moment. We can diversify that money for them into different type of account where they can earn interest and just
offering a better tailored experience to them.
Yes, because we customize the solutions for every business based on their need.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, which is great because
Mm-hmm.
you lead our treasury management department, and guess who they get to talk to? You.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
And another point I want to make there is that, we hear all the time about how hard it is to move bank accounts,
Mhm.
all the time. If you've got 3 different accounts set up at a certain bank, and it's specific to businesses too, smaller businesses, and you're not getting the appropriate service that you feel like you should. And then there's another bank that may offer a better service. We hear it's just too hard to move. It's just too hard to move. Well, can you kind of speak into that process, what that would look like, and how, whether that is a true statement or whether it's that's maybe just a false narrative?
It is a true statement. It is very difficult to move bank accounts, and I agree with businesses. But it came from not having that personal banker experience with your bank, this is where my approach is to lead with giving them the personal banking side of the service, where we will assist with moving those accounts for them. And building that trust with your customer is very important. They know you're going to be there for them, take care of them. It is a process to move bank accounts, but we're there to help them, assist them with all of their moving the accounts, any payments they have electronically set up. We will handle that. We will assist them with that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Looking forward, this will be for both of you. Because Max, I know you have a big, handle on where our bank is moving with our technology, not only internally, but for our customers. I don't know if you'd call it an arms race, but looking forward, we're going to have a big wave of people our age and younger and who are just attached to their phones and ultimately could make a banking decision based on how good their app works or how well their website works or whatever it might be. For a community bank of our size with a much smaller technology budget than JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America, who can integrate with these.
How about just a lack of R&D department?
Yeah,
I think they've got their own R&D departments.
I don't even know what I'm trying to ask, but how do we I guess what are the challenges with being a community bank, on the technology front, and how do we aim to, keep up with some of our competitors who, frankly, have, a little more resources than we do? I know neither of you are prepared to answer that. We can have time to.
I'll let you go.
Okay,
first,
you want to let
and if
me
you
go?
don't have comments, we don't have to talk about it.
I'm really eager to hear what you have to say. So.
I'm going to be honest with you. As a community bank, we will never be able to compete with the larger, like you said, JP Morgan Chase. Will never be able to compete with them on the technology side. I mean, for us to still have the resources to do the digital banking side of it and being there for our customers, businesses will still need that personal banker experience. Doesn't matter if we now or 10 years down the road. It's not going to all move to that digital side of it. Yes, on the personal level, like you said, the younger people they're glued to their phone.
Yeah.
Yes, the app, it's great, but on the business side of it, you still will need your bankers. Not everybody feels comfortable to going on that 100% to the digital platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll segue into the fact that I don't think that you will see the person to person ever go away in the banking industry. Overall in the banking industry, obviously we know there are some digital banks out there, but what largely what I think our approach is that we want to become trusted advisors.
Yes.
And if you become a trusted advisor, that means you're not referring to a website every time. And you're not referring to a digital application every time. You are meeting them where they're at with what they need and being able to provide a service, both in person and digitally.
Exactly.
I mean, the digital component has got to be part of the strategy, but it can't be the only focus. And you've got to be able to kind of tailor your approach to, a digital capability with personnel support.
Yeah.
So if you can do that well and you can continue to operate well in that sphere, I don't think that any digital operational capacity will be the end all be all. People still want to talk to people. I know it's weird, and it feels weird, and we've got such a unique way of communicating with people today than we ever have before. But I think if anything we witnessed through COVID was that was challenging for a lot of people.
Yeah.
To not be able to talk to people, to not be able to have some interactions and communications. And if you have someone that you trust and someone that you feel has your best interest in mind, regardless of what it may be, you will want to have a conversation with them and get their opinion. And a lot of times that doesn't come over, very well just through email.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Yeah. I thank you guys for sharing your thoughts and opinions on that. That's a big, topic that I'm sure a lot of community banks are thinking about right now. If you're somebody listening to this and you think you don't need a banker, I would challenge you to think again.
You're just flat wrong.
Think again. And if you're still like...
Soulja Boy told us that last week.
That's right. And if you're still like, no, I really don't think I need a banker, you will.
Yes.
There will come a time in your life, whether you never own a small business or, you think your banking relationship is super simple, you will need a trusted advisor, like Max said. So,
well, one of the things that I would mention about a cash management or treasury management department is that specific to a lot of folks, in the younger demographic, your millennials, Gen Zers, and that kind of stuff. What I think you see, and we've talked about this a couple of times, is those folks having kind of multiple revenue streams, whether that be real estate investing, whether that be, numerous different things outside of an 8-to-5 job, right? And a lot of them are setting up an entity for that, and they're gonna need some cash management options to help them manage their business.
Yes,
and being able to reach out to a bank that you already have a relationship with could be a major component there.
Yeah. To kind of go against the narrative that the TikTokers were saying last week on our episode, banks are here to help. Believe it or not, we're not bad guys. So,
no. Just to add, like Max said, you're always going to need a banker. Meaning, a lot of those TikTok or having the extra revenue side hustles people, but it's like the fraud side of it. How much are they protected against fraud? Yeah. Like you can say I have a spyware on my computer or I have all these, but really, honestly, how much are you protecting your money on your bank account? Because all of the email fraud, like spam emails we get, you click on a link or a request to send money. I mean, you're going to have like these services, this information need to be shared with our customers. And we're the ones who are going to share that with them. If we're not telling them, meaning somebody else is, definitely.
Yeah. And the bad news is the frauders are only going to get stronger.
Yes.
And smarter and better.
Yeah.
That's right. Especially with AI.
Protect yourself.
Are we even really here?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is here? Isn't here just there without a T?
Oh my God. It sounds like a Camden thing. Did you learn that in Camden?
Take that. Think about it.
So did you like Pennsylvania better than Arkansas?
I mean, yes, I enjoyed certain parts of Pennsylvania, but I've been here 10 years now. It seems like this has become kind of home now.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers or Philadelphia Eagles?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Fly, Eagles. Fly. Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, it's been a rough end of the season for both those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been up there.
Yeah. It's
Should
pretty.
I go? Were you? Aren't those on opposite ends?
Yes, Pittsburgh was 6 hours away from. We were
That's crazy.
we were 30 minutes from Hershey, Harrisburg area. So we were, the Yuengling Brewery.
I don't know it, but I can.
Okay, you know the beer,
I
Yuengling.
do.
So the brewery was the town Pottsville. That's where we lived in that town. So
did it smell like beer everywhere?
Beer and chocolate.
someday, I don't even remember chocolate.
Beer and chocolate.
The Wonka factory, the Yuengling factory, right next
Crayola
door.
factory was in Easton, which was like
Okay.
hour away, where they made crowns and.
Yeah, not so enjoyable.
Yeah, I was about to say
eat.
that smell doesn't
No.
sound super appetizing.
Yeah.
You ever eaten a crayon?
Probably inadvertently.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
You were fooled to think it was. Yeah.
My daughter just
She tried her first crayon.
tried her first crayon.
Good for her.
Last week. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what flavor?
Yeah, I think it was grape.
Oh my gosh. That's great. Yeah, I need to go up there.
Yes.
Sounds like fun. A lot of factories.
Yeah, and no, it is. It's just traveling like a hub. Like you can take a drive 2 hours, be in New York City. You can take a
that's
train. You
awesome.
can be near Philly, 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And you can go to. We have driven to Canada, like 7 hour drive. You're in Canada, Niagara Falls.
Luke's not allowed in Canada, so that's
Not
good.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Not after what happened last time, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're tougher because you're from Pennsylvania? I feel like those are like
I'm
tough people.
Nah,
No.
no, I don't see.
I feel like they wear that reputation. Like Philly's just tough. Pittsburgh's a tough city, you know?
Go for Sylvester Stallone.
That's
Rocky.
right. That's right.
Well, we were in Philly just in August last year. We took the boys to the Philadelphia Art Museum
Cool.
where Rocky movies were made.
Yeah,
like he
yeah,
ran
yeah.
up the
The stairs.
Oh, yeah.
stairs.
Yeah.
Did they run the stairs?
They didn't run it. But a lot of people were running.
Were they?
They're
Yeah.
teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So it was too cool for them to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You're like a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old.
They didn't bring their gloves or anything.
I feel like that's more steps than I would want to run.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a lot of steps.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, Tara, thanks so much for joining us
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
kind of giving us some insight in treasury management and what you do and the amazing person that you are. So we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate you guys.